I remember experiencing those moments where, y'all saw me fly by the wayside. But there were times where, there were some people who felt like that just throw her out. She's supposed to be the pastor's daughter, and she's doing A, B, C, D, all the way to Z. There were a faithful few who refused to give up on me, and I thank God for that. But that also taught me not to give up on others. As long as they come in, we praise the Lord with you. If you don't see them, you pray for them. You reach out in some capacity, because they may not necessarily respond right then, but trust me, as a witness to it, and many of us are here as a witness to it, it resonates with you one day. One day you'll be flipping through your phone looking for an encouragement, and you'll see a text from Miss Pat saying, "Hey, sweet pea, just want you to know I love you." Let me go to church. You never know. You see what I'm saying? Parents who have children, do not give up on your children. Listen to the words. I remember my mother telling me she had to pray to God to keep a fence around her mind, so she wouldn't get engulfed in the what ifs with her children out in the streets. So, and she also expressed tough love to us as well. So it's twofold now. It's twofold. But don't give up on your children. That's just a little tad adding on to what Miss Pat said. So accountability and partnership. The sweater. What sweater? Oh. So Meechers obviously wants me to tell this story. So she was talking about this, and I've told this several times, but people just like to laugh at my down moment. But I'll tell it because it's the truth. Because I'll say this, just going back to that real quick. Your children, when they gather themselves together and bring themselves to the house of the Lord, they may not look like what you think they should look like. Embrace them either way, because it took all they could to get here. The story is, my dad and my mother saw me coming to church one particular Sunday morning. Now, I was completely hungover from the night before. But I was sick to my stomach, and I said, I got to get to church. I had lost so much weight, I could not find any clothes to wear. So I came to church. It was the summertime. Iyante? I came to church with some corduroy pants, long corduroy pants and a sweater. Remember that, Dad? Yeah. Corduroy pants and a sweater. Like burgundy corduroy pants. This was like 2003, 2004. So I came to, first off, it was wrong because it was hot. Okay? Corduroy ain't supposed to never be worn in the summertime, but it was. And I had flip-flop sandals, like furry flip-flop sandals. So I had, and ashy feet, my daddy said. And so, but it took all I could. I knew I wasn't dressing the part, but at the moment, I had, squandered all of my money just in drinking. So I had no money. The money I worked for, I used to drink. That's what I did. And so I put everything I could, the best. I knew it wasn't support. I knew they was going to eat me up when I came through the door, but it was the best I had. But I came through the door, and before I don't know, they must have saw me in the camera or something. Before I came in good, my mama grabbed me in that side office, and Dad said, "Baby girl, are you on crack? Are you on crack? What's wrong?" It was terrible. And that's the thing about being honest with yourself. You just got to be honest with yourself. It was terrible, but I think also at that moment we joked, we laughed through our pain. Okay, so it wasn't like, "Are you on crack? We're gonna do an intervention." It was like, that's our relationship. Okay, but it was at that moment, like, that's something that we always talk about. We always fall to when we talk about the transition of me and my life in Christ, because it was that moment that I had to have an outside person tell me literally, this is what you're looking like. Like, this is not who you are. This is when it was reiterated in who I am. I want to say my mom sent me home to go change. I went home, I changed, I came back. And to some people, they may feel like, that was enough. She came, that should have been enough. But at the end of the moment, my mother just reiterated, no, this is not who you are. So that's why I say, when it comes to your adult children, you ask for God to pray, give you protection around your mind, but you also have to display tough love. There's just certain things I could not do with my mother and my father. I could not do. There's just certain, they had an expectation and they weren't leaning them down because I was their daughter. No matter the tears, no matter what I was going through, it didn't matter. There was an expectation. And like most of us, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you hit those expectations. So that's just the story that Ametris wanted me to share about the sweater in the middle of the heat. She, testimony, is whatever. However it needs to help her. I'm here. I'm here for her. Even at my laughter, I'm glad it helped you. Did it help you, sis? I can't describe it. It was terrible. I can't describe it. I really can't. You had to take a picture and you had to see it. It was just terrible. But it really was just a broken person, and I just didn't know what to do with all of this brokenness all at one time. I just didn't know. And it was a learning thing for me and my parents all the way up until maybe the last 10 years, just learning what was really going on with me mentally and being able to even adjust the approach. You know what I'm saying? If you see your children, and this is a part of accountability and discipling well, even with our children, even within our homes. If you see something that's just not registering, like there's something, you got to go the extra mile and have a conversation with your child. They will tell you, even if they're not speaking to you. If you open up and say, hey, what's going on? Where is this coming from? I know how I raised you, so where is this coming? My mama found out a lot of things just from those moments of just being open and transparent with her about what I was dealing with. And she was able to decipher, because sometimes it came out like word salad. I was just, you have so much going on in your mind, you just kind of blurt out things. And be patient, parents, mommies, on this Mother's Day. And be able to make sense of the word salad. I promise you it'll make a difference in your child and how your relationship kind of grows from there. Because to be what's the word, to be everywhere all at one time in your mind is tormenting, discombobulating. And so to be able to have a person that you can partner with and be accountable with to give you, I can have a whole paragraph of unfinished sentences with my mother, and she'll be able to gather everything I'm saying. But what that does is it helps create a relationship or build upon that relationship. Sir, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
To be in a place that we're not supposed to be. So as parents, and especially with adult children, you have to have a standard. So when you hear me preaching about grown kids not being in place and you tolerating it, we're coming from a platform where we done that. In other words, the preacher's kids get this testament that they difficult kids. Well, because the parents let them be that. And you know your child out of pocket and you don't deal with it. You got a child, like y'all call it mean girl thing. If you don't address that now, when they get grown, it's going to be almost impossible to deal with. So as parents, and happy Mother's Day, and as parents, and especially mothers, you got to know how to stay in compliance, you know, because your children are a byproduct of you and that father. And if you all don't allow them to experience the bottom, they won't come to the top.
It's important that key thing is important. If I had my mother to jump in every time I needed her or thought I needed her, Nicole wouldn't be here. I'd still be Farisha or free out them on them streets. You know what I'm saying? I had to have a standard to reach. And I can remember even too, her even sheltering JR, my own brother. Don't go over there. And if I catch you. Now, because we were so close, he did, you know, sneak over there or whatever, and that's something that we kept until we became adults and we weren't afraid of the punishment. But he would, because he just had to put his eyes on his sister. But, you know, you have to preserve those who are easily influenced. I was JR's oldest sister. So, you know, regardless of wherever I was, my brother was gonna follow, and because he trusts his sister. It's just me and him. We experienced things as children, and so wherever direction I went, my brother was gonna follow. And so my mom knew that, and so she would harshly warn him, don't go over there. Don't stray over there. Don't let me catch you over there. And I think the one time he did come, and all the times I was out, the one time he did come, he was outside. He had to put his eyes on me just to kind of see I was good. And then I think Mama called, and I was like, well, go on up out of here, because I don't want her coming over here with all of that. And we'll let her know when we get older that you came by. You won't be now. But that, we're going to segue that into accountability and partnership. It's important in discipleship. The key to maturity and character growth in discipleship and Christianity is accountability. That's the key. Accountability is let's say, it refers to the responsibility individuals have to answer for their actions, decisions, and stewardship, both before God and sometimes before others. It encompasses being answerable for moral and ethical conduct, as well as the responsible use of resources and talents entrusted to them. The thing that stuck out to me about that definition was as well as the responsible use of resources and talents. I think sometimes as Christians, we feel that we have a gifting or a talent, and we will not offer that to the house that we are at, the leaders that we're under.